Howdy doody, folks. Artie Farty here in beautiful Goulburn. Just give a few moments for it to kick over, and I'm a little bit, a couple of minutes early. G'day, Sheen. Steve, how you doing? Curly, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you on board. Waiting for, wait for everybody else to come on. We got a very, very special. G'day, Ron, how are you? Rickster, how are you, buddy?
Hey, how are you, man?
Mate, we are in for a special treat today. Well, you guys. I'm up at Goulburn at the Streamliner feast meet, where the old Streamliners from all around Australia have come together. It's a fundraiser, and the organiser has actually fired up one of the engines down in the back for us. We'll go to it shortly. It's been put in there especially for all the viewers. Okay. We'll do the walk around and whatnot here. It's a bit of a turnout. Weather's clearing up. And here's our mate Richard. You guys probably seen in the chat. He's up here with me as well.
Hello.
We do have another surprise guest, but I'm going to leave it for later. He's over there, but we'll get to him. I'm just going to go up here as everyone's coming in. I want to thank Bernie, the organizer of the event.
Hey, Opa Dodge, how are you, buddy?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Hello, Anthony. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
This is what it looks like at the border of the Outback. As you can see, it's crowd starting to trickle in. The
Marty, is
organizer
that
here,
a functional turntable?
yeah, I've got the organizer here. His name's Bernie. He's the organizer of the Streamliner meet event. It's when the money is a fundraiser for anything specific. There you go, guys. It's a yearly event, so if any of you guys come to Australia, 6 years. Oh, 6 years. Sorry, you made it. Okay, so there you go. So every 6 years, so save your pocket money and come down. Oh, thank him for firing up the CLP for us. We'll go around and have a look.
Yeah, about the notch are up, so you want to get
All right, let's go over there and we'll go and have a look.
Say good day, Bernie. You're on international TV, being seen by singles of people.
Well, he is a movie star. He is a movie star. There is a documentary on. Now, as we walk over, here's a special guest here, and I'll reveal his name a little bit later on in the show. We'll just go over to the seal. Yeah, we'll just say
Who's on?
Everyone.
everybody.
Hi, guys.
I've got Rick and Anthony there. So whoever guesses who that person is may get a cookie.
Cookie? Who? Is that creepy?
Oh. Are you sure it's creepy?
I don't know. I've never seen creepy, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But I can't think of many Aussie people down there.
Yeah. I'll go back. I'll walk to the history of these in a moment. This is actually done a fictitious colour scheme for one of the model makers here in Australia. We got the Victorians from Melbourne down in here. There's 3 versions of the same engine.
Wow.
Then I've got their EMD S-Class, which is same as the ones over there. Okay, we'll go up to here. The CFP 17. The one in the middle, that's been fired up especially for you, all your viewers here. So,
All right, be
it's the
mindful
first
of
time in a
everyone
while it's been
else's
started up, so they've got
cameras
much to
over
do
there,
with
big
that
guy.
up for us. Blow the horn. This used to be a. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yeah.
G'day, Daryl. How are you? G'day, Mike. Nice to see you on as well. Let's see if there's anyone else I missed. Yeah, okay.
I was going to say
Righto.
hello to everyone, but I couldn't get Artie to be quiet for long enough.
Now it does. It's a bit hard. I can't really hear too well.
I said I was going to say hello to everyone, but I couldn't get you to be quiet long enough.
Okay, I'll shut up now. Yeah. Now this used to be a working roundhouse, and it's turned into a museum. We got the 421. That's basically a double-ended engine. It's got a controls in both ends. Most of the Australian roaring stock has got that. I'll just pan around. Okay, and I'll get down to that later.
Hey, Thomas, Randall, Mike,
What's that?
Daryl, Steve, anybody else out there?
Now I believe the CL17 is going to be restored in its original color schemes, which is the maroon and silver. That's me. I'm doing the live stream. Yep. You're good to go. Okay, guys, we're in for a treat.
All right, anybody wearing earphones or headphones or earbuds?
All right, guys, here we go.
Hey, James.
Some of you guys might want to turn your volumes down.
Oh, guy's about to get into a diesel locomotive and.
G'day, Dundas Junction. Nice to see you in here.
There she goes. By the way, hi, Joyce. Hey, Randall, how you doing, bud?
Coming to you live from a rundown hotel somewhere in the suburbs of Cleveland.
Let me know if Rita shows up. Might be in the parking lot.
Well, I'd be in real trouble if Rita showed up here.
Especially legless. Artie, do you know when the last time this locomotive was fired up? You can't hear a thing.
Hey, Kiwi Dave, how are you?
G'day, Kiwi Dave. How are you, buddy?
Oh, of course, I respond as Artie because I'm in here as Artie.
This is CBS News, and we are live in Australia where Artie Zero is at the launching of the first Australian Saturn rocket.
Okay. Yeah, I believe last time, I'm not too sure, but I think she got fired up last night. But before that, it's been sitting here for a while because it is getting restored. So, yeah, it's been a while since she got fired up. It sounds pretty good. They did say they were going to sound the horn, but I'm waiting to hear that. G'day, Plumber. How are you, buddy?
Plumber.
Well, the plumber's living up to his name. That's how he's doing.
There she goes. And we have liftoff.
This will be Australia's 7th time trying to launch a rocket into space. This time they're trying it with an F7 diesel locomotive. I have no idea if that's an F7. I just said it because that's the only fucking locomotive I know.
That sounds awesome. G'day,
This
Randall.
is Walter Cronkite.
Thomas. No, it's mine. Thomas, I saw it first.
To the moon, Alice.
Yes, Randall, it is. G'day, Martine. How are you? Yes, I am. My YouTube channel, it's Oz America. AUSMERICA. Model railroading.
You're being watched across 2 continents,
I'm just getting a new customer.
3 countries.
There you go. You need business cards.
I'm over from the UK for this, so.
Oh, look. I got it. You don't mind being on camera?
No, of course not. There's Chris, by the way. My name's Chris.
Chris, is it? Well, Anthony, you're a bugger. You open up the gate. You're letting all the poms out. Look, we've got a guy here. His name is Chris. He's all the way from England.
Indeed.
Come and have a look at the StreamYard meet.
Well, that's another continent. We're now up to 4 continents represented here.
It was in England about a month ago, 2 months ago.
Oh, right.
Going through the museum. So here's What was that, Anthony?
Nothing at all.
Nothing
We
at all.
just had a
Yeah.
commercial break.
He's got no. G'day, Joe. How are you, buddy? You got it all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Joe Raider, nice to see you, bud.
Sorry.
Okay. So, I think they're going to let it cool down a little bit before they shut it down. Now, the last time they had this event, they had all these Streamliners fired up.
Hey,
They had them up to notch 8. And they blew the horn. So you can imagine the sleepy town of
Artie, I
Goulburn.
got a question for you.
Hang on, let me go so I can hear the question.
Yeah, was that locomotive made by Tyco?
Wasn't made by Tyco.
Yeah, because it made a lot of noise and didn't move.
It's actually was made by Lima. It was made by the Italians. It's called Hardy and Reliable.
All right. Artie, tell us where you are again.
Okay. I'm at Goulburn Roundhouse. Now, Goulburn is situated approximately 2 hours drive south of Sydney. You can pretty much say it's between Sydney and Canberra, our capital. Now, this used to be a big engine facility for, back in the days of the steam engines, they used to fuel up the engines here for the cold water, service them for a trains heading north to Sydney and south towards the Victorian border. And there used to be 3 different gauges. We've got the standard gauge here, which is the same as the US. Then you had the Victorians, which is this one here. G'day, Heath. How are you, buddy? We have the S-Class here. These are all EMDs. They're based on your E9s in the US. These used to be broad gauge, which was 5 foot 3 inches. The CL that you got, that we just heard fired up, that's a rebuild of one of these. G'day, Roy, Container Man, how are you? With the new I think they're the EMD engines inside. I can't recall at the moment. But they're giving them more horsepower. They're 3,500 horsepower. The engines inside of them is the same as the engines that you see in the SD40s. This is the 4306. That's from my state here out of Sydney. That was a second style Streamliner that came into production. We see an old 59 class. That was an American built engine with the tenders. We did see the 5917. Yep, you're right. We had the 5917 that went down to Port Kembla. Then we have the 2 Ts. You got the and the P class. See, from Victoria, from Melbourne. That's the original version. Then they cut down the top for a bit of viewing. And instead of what Victoria did, because there was shortage of motive power, they refurbished them to make the P class. But they have like the genset style motors in the back. So they're visitors up from Victoria. Now, you got the CLP. That's the passenger version that used to haul the Indian Pacific from Sydney to Perth. Now, of course, the P means that it's passenger, but it was also a little bit quicker than the CL class. But it also had a backup electric generator for the to provide power to the Indian Pacific cars. Now, they're basically from the West Australia, the western side. GM10, GN19, they are first generation. They're from South Australia. They travelled across the Nullarbor, out across to the other side of Australia. Then we have S311. That was one of the ones from Victoria, Melbourne, that was actually originally in standard gauge that used to come all the way up to here. Its original colour scheme was this. But now it's privately owned. That was Melbourne's version. Then we're coming up to 4201. The 42 is actually indicates the class. They're our first generation Streamliner diesels. We did have the 40 class, which is based on the Alco R3s. The 421, this one here, we'll go to the back of this one in a moment. This one's been slightly more beefed up to this, but it has actually got a proper driving cabin at the other end. Okay, that's one of the features they did. Then we have these two here, got the same motors there, your Alcos. They were what, 2,000 horsepower, 1,800 horsepower. Now the one that there's two versions here. You got the New South Wales version, which is 4464, that ran out of Sydney. Then we got the 961. That was used to run in the outback. Okay. Now let me just go in the shade. I've got a lot of sun in my eyes. I'll have a look at it. Yeah. Yeah, it's South Australia. Hang on, let me just get in the shade. Can't read the question.
No,
what's the question?
Artie,
question
Steve,
is,
go ahead,
I'll
Rick.
get it in.
Is
Is
it
it
easy
easy
to
to get models of these in Australia, like in US, getting famous trains?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You still got an opportunity with the CL and the CLPs. They are about to come to be released. You go to Auscision Models, which is like on the paint scheme on that nice fancy silver one. Go to their website. I will put a link on this chat later where you can actually make an order for it. These other ones are a little bit hard to get a hold of, but you can find them on eBay. We'll just set at the back so you can see the difference of what they look like at the back. Now with the 421, it actually had access, a proper driver's cabin on this end.
Wow, look at that.
And okay, let me just get over here. Okay, guys, so you see the difference. Oh.
And there he goes. Sorry, guys,
Somebody
I didn't
dropped
have
their
anything
camera.
planned.
So, Wigwag Workshop, were you at the train show today? Oh, he's back. Maybe.
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Might be slipped and bumped. Okay, this is the difference in the back. Everyone okay? Everyone's live?
Yeah, we're
G'day.
good. We're good.
Okay, I'll show you the difference in the backs of them. Now, these are our first generation, and you see we do have windows in the back. And I cannot get into it. No, I can't. But they actually got control panels in the back of these engines for emergencies. in case there's a failure in a system or whatnot. They had to move the train.
Artie, Sean McGee's got a question. Are these all running or are they just static displays?
No, about 80% of these are running. These two here, they run as tourist trains. I don't know what's happening with this, whether that's going to be put back on duty or not. That one there is static. The one on the far side that also gets used now and then.
Now that green and yellow one there on the left-hand side, it's got a set of stairs over there. Are you allowed to go up there and peek?
Yeah, I'm going to have a look.
Or?
Yeah, it doesn't go up to the window, but I'll go up and have a look. Now, the 421 is, you see, that's the driver's cab. That's what they've done. And that's only in this state. Because they alleviate a lot of turntables, a lot of... I'm going to let these guys take a photograph. Okay, let's have a look. Doesn't go very far, Rick.
Oh well.
Right. Don't despair. We can still go up. There is one of them in the shed. We'll go down and have a look.
Thomas at Split Rock wants to know, why do they have 5 numbers? Are there that many engines, and how many do they have?
Okay, what they done was... G'day, how are you? Okay, the reason why they have the numbers. Okay. Originally what happened was with these ones here, the first... Right. Now, with that engine over there, it's pretty much the same style. But what they done was, because they ran out of numbers and want to keep it within the same class, they added a 1 to it. Now, there is a car body shaped one, which is a 422. So, this one here breaks the cycle. It's got 3 front digits. 3 digits is your class number. Hopefully that explains it. But generally, these 2 engines, apart from the different radiators, it's pretty much the same engine. That one's a bit spruced up, so I want to keep it pretty much the same.
Australian beer gets to you every
well,
time,
we know
Marty.
which way we're going. We pretty much know where we go to, Dave. But see, we do know how to use both ends of our trains, not like some.
The problem is you don't know where you've been.
Oh, we don't want to see where we've been. This is a second car scheme for the ones that used to be out across the desert. Actually, it's got a bit of a side panel missing. Hopefully, it won't lose a signal. Now, this one has actually got its class as a letter. There's no form of standardization of the classes of what the engines were. Of course, this is the original number for this one. GM, well, this did have the GM motor in it. And the other ones had the EMD. We'll go over the 421. We'll go to the 421.
So I see that one's got Australian air conditioning.
Yeah. A very efficient cooling system, and it works in the outback, I tell you. Mind you, they didn't really have much of an air conditioning in these. Like, that's the air conditioning there. See the window, and 90 mile an hour down the road. I'm not sure. Let me get out of here. I'm not sure what the long term is. I know that long term is to restoring and operating on a tourist thing. Some of these, sorry, these 3 here, the S311, GM19, GM10, they do see regular service. There is actually an Australian Railroad Series out at the moment on free-to-air. And I believe this one was T387. That's been taken out of service. But that was on grain duty, on basically on branch lines. You guys are right. Now, these three here, I don't know what to go with them. Whether they're going to restore them or not to what do you call it? Revenue status or museum status or yeah, for tourist rides. We're going to go to 421 A1. You see the controls in them. And it's going to be hard for me to hear because it's noisy because the other engine's still running. Now for the Americans, you can't complain. We've got the controls on the wrong side. See, we're left-hand control. Take it for a spin. ODR, I just got that little hole in my way. CLP, I'll try to get a look. It's a bit dark, you can't quite see it, but this is a more modern cabin.
More important, the driver couldn't see.
You got your roundhouse in the back.
Artie, Derail Daryl wants to know if the turntable is fully functional.
Thanks, Randall. Okay. Let me just watch my step coming down.
They're only little steps, Artie. You should be all right.
As you can see, there's Richard, everybody who's come up here for the late viewers. And now we're going to go. Hey, yeah. This 43 class here is this 43 class here is actually our government's designer version of doing a Streamliner. Well, they're waiting for the approval and the patent to do the that style there. Pretty similar horsepower. It's crossed between, I don't know, like a PA unit and a E unit, one of the E units. Okay, we'll get to the back. Here's a closer look of the 59 class, American built. The Cato, it's here at the museum. This one won't see a fire anymore. It's only going to be a static display. The only thing that wasn't made in the US, sorry guys. The only thing that wasn't made in the US is the tender. But if you have a look, it's got the American style cab. Oh, is this one an oil burner? There you go, Richard. Oh, my battery's going to die out. That'd be right wrong.
It's got those English
I'll go as long as I can.
It's got those English bumpers on the front.
Yeah. That's the back of the 43 class, as you see. You still got a little window there to control it. I need to find a PowerPoint. I'm 15%. Okay, let's go have a look at this special guest. I don't know where he's got to. Now, with YouTube, you guys want to continue on with the show for a little while I find someone to charge your batteries later. You're more than welcome to do that. Hooked up. Is there something I don't know about? Let's just peer out of here. So, yeah, again, for those people I met, a town called Goulburn, which is roughly about a 2-hour drive south of Sydney. There he is. People with the cameras, try not to be rude. Oh, okay. We're just going to go around and thank Bernie. We're going to thank Bernie for firing up the diesel for us. So, with the earlier viewers, have you guys worked out who this chap is? So you've worked out who this chap is?
Lord Mayor of Goulburn.
Yeah, he's a Lord Mayor of Goulburn. See, I've got very special contacts. He's got very special accommodation up the road for all of us.
Nice.
It's free. You got 3 meals a day. Rooms are all the same size, so in all single beds. You might as well introduce yourself. They were.
It's creepy.
It's our mate Creepy. So,
I called it.
Creepy saying hello to everybody. And everyone's saying hello to you too. I told you I'm going to give you guys something special. So it wasn't mine.
Camera.
Hey? Was that Rick?
I said first time on camera.
First time on camera for you?
No.
Yeah.
For me, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you very much for reminding us about this event, Gary. Really appreciate it. The viewers from the US can see it's not just for them. They can put on a good meet and greet with the trains. We can do it too, in style.
Artie, I'm a little disappointed that you don't have me on a stick.
Oh, man, I did have you on the stick, but there was only one problem. You floated away last night.
Oh, boy.
You floated away out to sea. But I can fix that up. We still got another rail event tomorrow, so I might get see what I can find you there.
Off the rails on there.
Yeah, he's off the. I think he still is. Yeah, he's still there.
Fell off the rails. If you looked up,
Look,
see blue sky.
blue skies. Look,
Blue sky.
look, blue sky. Yeah. See, me and Richard, it's the first time we've seen blue sky in a long time. Just going to go over here and we'll thank the crew for firing up the engine. Okay, Bernie, thank you very much for that. Thank you to the crew for firing up the engine for you guys in the US. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, guys, and then now save your pennies, and we'll organise a bus in 6 years. It's going to be back here again, isn't it, Bernie?
I don't know. So we're planning maybe another event, New South Wales stuff in 2 years.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens after that.
All right, there you guys go. Start saving your pennies, and we'll organise a little trip down here, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Oops. I've got to have white charge. The other two were off. So thank you very much for that.
No worries, pleasure.
Thank you very much, Bernie. The guys are still going to go.
So this is you guys in the live stream.
Hardy, how are you? Yeah, I've got a white charge. Put it back on the phone, plate. No, they had a lot. Well, I had about 50 at the moment, but Saturday night over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get there.
We're back.
Sorry, you can quickly.
Uh-oh. Artie's being arrested again.
Something here. Yeah. I think there's a few along the wall in there.
Please stand by while
Might
we
be able
have
to
technical difficulties.
get outside.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Artie, just pay the ticket this time. Stop arguing.
I'm just quickly going to put this on charge. Went dead on me. Bloody phones.
Oh, I wish I'd have known. I was going to bring the brick USB. You could have walked around with it plugged in.
We missed our train.
Well, thank you, Kiwi Dave.
Oh, hang on. We're still on. Oh, hang on.
They're all disappearing.
I can't see my screen. Holy moly.
Screen
Okay.
went dead, but the mic is live.
The mic is live,
Oh.
Artie.
The what is live?
The mic is live, but your screen went whack.
Well, I'll tell you what, keep the show going. I'm going to quickly put the phone on charge. Give me about 10 minutes or 10, 15 minutes. I'll be back on. So keep the show going, you two. Please.
Hi,
Oh, sure,
Anthony.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Anthony.
Are we getting paid for this?
Yeah, you are getting paid. Yeah.
You
Oh. Yes, you are getting paid for
All
it.
right. Well, okay.
Cool.
All right. You go do your phone thing, and we'll check out what Open Dodge got at the train show, and you pop back in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do that. Just mute my mic because can't see nothing at the moment.
All right.
And
Just
and
like
then I'll
Artie,
come
we
back
don't
on and we'll
care
unmute
about
my
it.
mic, eh?
All right. Put them down there. Why not? All right. So train show.
Yep.
Tell us a
Yeah.
little something.
We're at I forget the official name, the Greater Cleveland or Berea NMRA National Train Show, one of the largest in Ohio. It's at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds here. It's 2 days, today and tomorrow. And Joyce was looking for a reason to get out of town, and I thought, what the heck? I had a lot of fun going to the train show in my hometown, Toledo, back in March, and I thought, what the heck? Let's go to a train show. So we did.
Joyce, when you run out of town, you're not supposed to take them with you.
We're attached at the hip. It's kind of hard. There you go. Wigwag Workshops got it. The Great Berea, Ohio Train Show, presented by the North Coast of it. Yeah, when your title requires 5 banners, it's time to shorten the title.
So true.
Train Show, Cleveland, but yeah, so what was the craziest thing at the train show? Probably me. I did try to break a guy's Cato N-scale ICE4 train bit. I opened up the package backwards and he says, "Were you going to buy this?" I was like, "No, I just wanted to look at it." He says, "Then get the..."
Oh.
Oops, sorry.
How many dealers were selling Markland ICE4s?
Nobody. This guy had an N-scale one. He was selling Kato everything. He had all the high-speed trains. He had an Amtrak. He had an ICE4. He had a Thalys. He had the French TGV. He had 2 Japanese bullet trains, the Shinkansens. So he had all kinds of cool N-scale, which is why I went over there. Just, I like to look at them, even if I'm not buying them. And it was the first dealer we saw that had anything that was based on German trains. But
I think this one's for Joyce.
Take him, but leave him with no money. No, she was like, you could buy that. You could buy that. Yeah, it was the exact opposite of the stereotype. So there was only one dealer who had a lot of German stuff. And we went through there. There's 5 different halls, buildings it was in. To be honest, it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. There were a lot of dealers there, but their advertisement made it sound like it was going to be about 3 times the size of the Toledo Toy Fair, and I think maybe it was about 30% bigger, just spread out over much more space. Some very gorgeous layouts, but we were thinking of live streaming, and we just weren't getting signals, and there was a lot of people here, and just trying to jostle through everything and trying to live stream and look at stuff, just so we didn't live stream. But I just bought a couple of things. I rarely expect to buy anything. I was looking at maybe buying some scenic stuff, but the one thing we bought first here, I guess I can show this. The lighting is bad in this room, but lighting in a hotel room is not meant to be good. But this is right here. That's easy enough to see. It's a Beck's beer. It's a old beer truck. This totally is not my era, but it's Beck's beer, and that's special because Beck's is brewed. It's brewed all around the world now, but its headquarters is Bremen, and my city, Delmenhorst, is a suburb of Bremen. So Beck's is the big local. Also, if anybody knows St. Pauli beer, it's brewed at the same refinery in Bremen, Germany, and St. Pauli's only brewed at that brewery, as opposed to like Beck's, where like if you buy Beck's beer in the United States, it's been brewed in St. Louis.
Right.
And it's just not the same. It doesn't taste the same. But Joyce saw that. She says, oh, you could get that. And there were some other beer cars, but this was the only one that had the modern NEM, couplings where I could take these out and put in. But this is a Fleischmann, and Fleischmann is very high quality German model making. So we picked that up. And I was looking for some buildings that maybe I could kit bash with, and I hemmed and hawed and wound up not getting it. And the only other thing I bought was he had a set of wagons. It's a 4-car set. It came with a locomotive and 4 cars, but the locomotive was gone, and he just had the 4 cars. I don't know if, can we make this bigger? There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't really see the coloring in this light. It's really awful here. But these will go with my steamers. These are 1940s, 1950s era German passenger cars. And I really like them. Again, this lighting, see it better on my live stream on Friday. These are really pretty cars, the coloring on them. I love the fact that, for example, on this one, they actually have the window. Some of the windows are actually down. There we go.
Yep.
So I got 4. Whoops. Let's not run them off the table. And this, and there's 2 others. So this is a nice consist. Yeah, St. Pauli girls. There with you. And then another first class, third class car. And then and one was the Speisewagen, the dining car, and then a baggage car, the sliding doors. So this was really, I liked it. This is totally not my era, but they'll work with a couple of the steamers I do have. And and that's all I bought. I didn't spend a lot of money. And since I wasn't doing live, I wasn't buying for other people. Saw a lot of cool trains. I was a lot of N scale. The big thing is, I don't want to say the craziest thing I saw, but there was a large 2 groups of S scale. There was a large S scale group. They had a big layout, and they had all kinds of S scale track, cars, vehicles, everything they were selling. They had a big display, and they were selling all kinds of S scale. And I know I watched some of the live streams, and people say, videos that it's hard to find S scale, and I was like, they needed to be here because these people had S scale everything.
Wow.
It was impressive. We talked to the people for a bit because I was explaining S scale to Joyce that most people that are S scale, they have to build everything themselves, custom wise, it's like the track and everything else, because it's just not readily available, and that therefore they get a special, sort of like Split Rock, they get sort of a special salute because they have to custom build everything.
Yeah.
No, Thomas, there was probably 8 guys with the one group and 4 with the other. So yeah.
Did you meet anyone at the train show?
No. Everybody that's from Ohio decided they were going to come up on Sunday. So we're going to meet Dave Thurber from Crooked River and Rick from R&L Railroad. We're meeting them for breakfast tomorrow. Now, I thought Wigwag was supposed to be there today, but, Joyce and I were walking around proudly with our homemade Model Train Outsider as seen on YouTube shirts, hoping somebody would recognize us. But after I messed up that one guy's, I covered that up because I didn't want people to know, yeah, I know that Model Train Outsider. I broke my train. But it was fun to walk around and see stuff. A lot of displays, but a lot of O scale, a lot of Lionel, lots of Lionel. So I know some people like Gus Hadley would have loved that.
The train shows that we have around here, there's always a lot of American Flyer. American Flyer is real big over here for some reason.
Didn't see much of that here. Let's see. There was one place. It was all Atlas, and I mean, they had just Atlas, everything Atlas. And then you just, and again, like everything, there's a lot of swap dealers. Yeah, he probably has a photo pinned up of me now. Beware this man.
That's funny. We're sitting here having this conversation, and he's probably at home talking to his people going, this guy, he just picked up this locomotive like it belonged to him and almost threw it on the floor.
It was one of those silly Kato with special displays, opens as a bookcase. And in my defense, he had it shoved in the case wrong because I opened it up and said, okay, it should open this way. And oops, no, it didn't. And 3 of the cars fell out. And then he tried to fix it up and more fell out. And then he's trying to put it back. And he was putting them back the wrong way in the wrong slots. And I was trying to, and Joyce is just like, shut up and get away. Joyce had already walked 20 feet away from me at that point.
She had the right idea. She had the right idea.
Joyce was like, exit route, exit strategy, honey, this way. So I guess not a lot to report. I know some guys going by locomotives. I did see a HO PRR GG1, so I thought of Ray.
There you
go. And maybe to a lesser bit Heath, but I think Ray is the big GG1 fan.
Sure. I think Ray started it, and then Heath picked up on it. I think that's how.
And of course, because it's Ohio, a lot of Baltimore and Ohio stuff, and that was going back to my live feed I did in March from our local train show. Is through you guys, all you guys that do American stuff. Where I don't know the locomotives. I don't know what an EMF, whatever is. I don't know what an E16. I don't know that stuff. I know an F7 because I had that once as a little kid, and the Santa Fe Super Chief F7. But by seeing what you guys run and put on yours, especially the passenger cars, there was a lot of Baltimore and Ohio stuff, and man, they made some gorgeous cars. Pennsylvania Railroad, a lot of gorgeous passenger cars over the years, just nice sets. I mean, one guy had this set of They were $8 each, and he had 8 of these gorgeous Pennsylvania Railroad passenger cars, probably whatever era you would call the 40s or 50s. Really pretty, but the silver and black Baltimore and Ohio, you know, with the matching locomotive for $225. And that was pretty.
Wow.
So that's it. Did I kill off the 10 minutes yet? That's it. You know,
I don't
that's
know.
my little
I don't know. I'm not sure when he left.
Just
real quick, Mystic, I sent you an email. Do me a favor, respond back to that. Not no, you know, not right now. Doesn't have to be now, but let me check my email just in case you did it now. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah, I don't have anything else much to.
You should sneak I think everybody would notice if I snuck a Pennsylvania Railroad passenger car onto my layout. Everybody would go, that's not German, is it? Yeah, I think everybody would notice.
Well, that's funny because me being from Pennsylvania, when I go to the shows, like you said, because you're in Ohio, you see all the B&O. Over here, it's the same thing, but I see all the Pennsylvania passenger cars, all the GG1s. It seems to be everything that flows, you know, through. And of course, it's in every scale. If you see one, you see it in every scale.
Thomas, there were a lot of exhibition layouts running. Some very simplistic ones where they just laid down some track over a green mat, running their O-scale stuff. There was some group was running. It wasn't. Is there a 3.5-inch scale? You know, I remember in the old days there was G, then 1, 2, 3, 4. These were double the size of O or double the size of G. These were some big locomotives, but I don't think it definitely wasn't the 5-inch. I know it's the 5-inch, but they had this gorgeous set of Baltimore and Ohio with the locomotive for cars, and the people were actually dressed in old conductor uniforms. And Joyce asked me what size was that, and I just go, I don't know.
Wow. I wouldn't even.
It's not HO.
Nope. I remember the last show.
Lots of G stuff.
I think it was the Timonium show last year. Yes, the one I took my son to. They actually had one of the corners of the place that they were at. They had a guy. Well, there were a couple guys there, but they were showing how easy it is to buy and set up these like ride-on trains that you could put in your backyard. And they had a test one there of maybe 8 foot of track, and they were allowing the kids to get on it, and they were kind of just running it back and forth, and the kids were loving it. And of course, while one guy's controlling the train with the kid, the other guy's grabbing all the dads, going, "Hey, come here, you can do this. Here's a pamphlet." And I'm like, no, thanks. It's bad enough I took up half the basement. You think my wife's gonna let me take up half the yard? How many guys are wearing the blue vest?
None.
Wow.
Didn't see that. Yeah, I think the most common clothing we saw were the old, what we used to call CPO jackets. I thought those had gone out of style 30, 40 years ago, and there were just tons of people, these old sort of like checkerboard, plaid, thick woolen, we used to call them CPOs, which I know is a naval military rank, but yeah, that was it. People were dressed a bit warm for the chilly morning we had. But otherwise, the real train guys were wearing their favorite model train shirt, Pennsylvania Railroad t-shirts, Great Northern t-shirts, Chesapeake, Ohio t-shirts, a lot of t-shirts on the variation of warning, I may spontaneously talk about trains.
I have that
so
shirt.
A lot of just model hobby. Yeah. Hobby shirts.
Nice.
But we were the only ones advertising ourselves. Joyce and I were walking around with little homemade iron-on patched Model Train Outsider T-shirts and hoping somebody would walk up and go, "Hey, I know you." But in reality, why would anybody? That'd be more likely in the UK or in Germany, I guess. But
well, that's like me. You know, when I go to the train shows, I usually wear my hat, and nobody's noticed me yet. I mean, it's like a walking billboard, and you know, nobody said a thing. About the only person that even recognized me was, like I said, last year at Timonium. Ray recognized me. That's only because he knew I was coming.
Right. Well, I was waiting, you know, because when Joyce and I went to the UK, there were a bunch of people waiting to meet us. They knew they were going to meet us here. They were following our trains. They literally, several of the guys knew what train we were going to be on. Like, yeah, you know, they would ask me, what time do you leave London? Well, we're leaving London on the 10:45. And they're like, and all of a sudden, bam, they're on a platform at our stop. Like, hey, it's Anthony and Joy. You know, it's like, you know, they were treating us like celebrities. And of course, I'm going the other way because I'm meeting guys that have 5,000-6,000 subscribers, and I'm just my tiny little channel, but they're meeting us like, it's really you.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, there were a couple of them that they just were doing everything they could to get Joyce and me to do like the voices from Matt Clark. That was the funny one. They were just anything to get us to do the Matt Clark bit more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, they would be throwing jokes like, "Hey, Nancy," and Joyce and I would be like, "La da da," and all of a sudden, "It's Lil, damn it!" You know, we got to catch on and get into voice.
Well, an experience that I had when we went to Strasbourg last year, and this year in May, one of the guys that came up was Fred Wild. Are you familiar with Fred Wild? You know his channel?
I know the name, yeah.
Okay, so him and his wife came, and they hung out with us and it was funny when I walked. When John and I walked up to the group, he was one of the members that was already there that morning, and immediately I turned right to him and said, "Oh, it's Fred. How you doing, Fred?" And he got this shocked look on his face, and I forget. I think he turned to Sparky or he turned to somebody, and he was like, "Oh my God, Rick knows my name," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know your name. I'm not famous." Like, I was shocked that he was saying that. I'm like, "I'm not famous. Why wouldn't I know your name? You're a modeler just like me." It was a very weird experience, but I was very humbled by it.
Yeah, you know, the day, and again, I'm going to talk about UK people. So not all the Americans know these people, but there's a decent sized channel from the UK, Alan Wiles, Dragon Junction. Very funny guy, nice guy. Yep. And he came over to where Joyce and I were staying in Bangor, and he picked us up in his car, and he gets out of the car, and we're just like, "It's him. It's really him. He's not just a made up figment on you. It's really him," you know? And, you know, he told us later he was doing the same thing. My God, it's really them, you know? And it's weird when YouTubers do get together because, you know, you're not celebrities, but I guess in a way you are when you meet somebody, you know? I mean, I'm sure if I were to be fortunate enough to meet Ray or Heath or you or Jason or somebody like that, I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's really them." So it's weird, you know, after a while, YouTubers get together and everybody knows each other. But you know, the first time you meet a fellow YouTuber, because other than the UK, I have yet to meet a fellow YouTuber. I'm going to tomorrow. I'm going to meet my first American YouTubers.
Dave Thurber is an awesome guy. I got to meet him at Strasbourg. Really good guy. Funny dude. Got to meet his wife too. His wife is funny also.
So yeah, we're meeting at Bob Evans. We're going to meet at Bob Evans tomorrow morning and do breakfast, and then they're then they're going to the show, and Joyce and I are heading home.
Nice.
Would I freak out if I met you? It depends on how and why. Like if I was getting into my shower and you were suddenly there, yes, I would freak out. But you know, it all depends. But yeah, you know, it's weird because you spend all your time watching these people and then you meet them in real life and you just hope that they're like the person that comes across, because not all of them are. But Tony Kester, you'd point at Anthony and say, "Isn't that Tony Kester?" And I'd be like, I'd be ignoring you. If you said Tony, I would have no idea you were talking about me.
Did I see Creepy in here? I didn't know the Creepy was. I know Creepy's at the train yard. I didn't see him in the chat.
There's Joyce in the background.
Hey!
Get that off me. Yeah, so we'll show the bed instead, okay? Is that good?
There you go. There you go. So, did you guys go? Did you guys just go up there today, or did you guys pull in early on Friday, or how long are you at the show for?
No, we came in last night so we could spend 2 nights away from home. Okay. We came in last night, and we reserved this hotel because we wanted the swimming pool and the hot tub, and both were closed.
Oh no!
They closed them at 8 or 9 or whatever. We got in a little before 8, so by the time we got sold and went back down, oh yeah, the pool's closed. Your online says open till 11. Well, we don't have anybody here to. But so we went in this afternoon after we got there. But not my favorite hotel I've ever stayed in. It's supposed to be a nice one. It was more expensive than some of the other ones we could have stayed at. And just the spoiled first world complaints. Like the hot tub was more a lukewarm tub. I've swam in warmer alpine lakes than the pool. And even in the shower, hot water doesn't apparently make it up to the 6th floor. It's been.
I've had that experience.
Warm water has been. No, we couldn't find a hotel that had jacuzzi rooms. Apparently, they didn't. That's something the Cleveland area doesn't understand. Because we wanted a hot tub jacuzzi in the room, and you all can just let your minds wander why. But this is this isn't a kid-friendly show, but we'll leave it at that.
So, how far away from home are you?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. Cleveland's only 2 hours from Toledo.
Nice.
The way I drive, 1 hour and 45 minutes. If Joyce has a lot to drink, 2 hours and a half.
Yeah, when John and I made the trip to Strasbourg back in May, when I had looked it up on Google Maps, thank you Google, Google told me 2.5 hours, and John was not driving fast at all, and I don't know where Google was getting its numbers from, but we made it there in 55 minutes. So it was like if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have stayed the weekend and could have saved the $400 for the hotel, and just drove back and forth each day, you know. But we were up late and we were drinking, so I was glad that I had a room.
Indeed. Yes, we have a turnpike. All the states. Yep. We have the Ohio Turnpike, which is what we took to get here. I-80 and 90, although 80 stays the toll road, 90 eventually isn't a toll road. Or do I have that backwards? But yeah, we have the toll road. We have the Ohio Turnpike, the Pennsylvania Turnpike, which is so expensive.
Oh yeah. I try to avoid it at all costs.
My daughter would drive because her husband is from the Philly area. And when she was younger, she would drive out to Philadelphia. And then she finally decided it was just too expensive. And she took she took a plane. She took Greyhound another time.
Rick, we already covered that. You got to go back about 15 minutes. Yeah.
Cleveland is a great city. Joyce and I actually lived in Cleveland in 1987. Yeah, Joyce and I lived in Cleveland 1987 to 1988. My first job as a professional educator was in the prison system, and I was stationed here in Cleveland, and I taught for a year here right after we got married. In fact, we had a 5-day honeymoon, and I had to report for training. So we got married, and then we basically only saw each other on the weekend for the next 3 months. And then I got stationed in Cleveland, and she was living in Toledo. So yeah, our first 4 or 5 months of marriage, we only saw each other on weekends.
Wow.
She was in Toledo, and I was in Columbus, and then Cleveland. But so yeah, we moved to Cleveland.
One can only imagine how. One can only imagine how you spent those weekends. We won't go on that in the show.
Yeah. I barely walked in the door, but we'll leave it at that. Those were the days. No, but see, we were living in Cleveland at the height of the dog pound, the original Cleveland Browns dog pound. Where they kept losing to Denver in the playoffs to go to the Super Bowl, and then Denver would get slaughtered in the Super Bowl, and the Browns would be like, we wouldn't have gotten slaughtered like that. But it was a great time. The Indians actually had a couple of decent teams there. That was before their big Jacobs Field World Series teams in the 90s. But Cleveland is a hard-nosed city like Pittsburgh. But the people, it's a great area. The people are very, it's a great town. We loved living in Cleveland. We did move back to Toledo for a couple of reasons. Yeah, so anytime we come to Cleveland, it's not quite coming home, but it's definitely areas we know.
Are they real big on what's his dog? Can't think of his name now. Drew Carey out there.
Drew Carey is still, one of the Cleveland guys that made it big, so he's, I don't think you walk down the street and people are wearing Drew Carey shirts. Yeah, he's like anybody that's from Cleveland that acknowledges they're from Cleveland. They are, they're always hometown heroes. If you are from Cleveland and you made it, you're loved.
There you
go. They don't forget you. There's the only name in Cleveland that is hated is Art Modell.
Why was the owner of the Browns. I don't know. I don't think I'm familiar.
He was the owner of the Browns that moved the team to Baltimore and became the Baltimore Ravens, even though the Browns sold all their games out. And we were living in Cleveland when that started. Yeah, he moved the Browns out of Cleveland and kind of stabbed the people in the back because they were filling the stadium. But when the Cleveland area voted all this tax money to build the new stadium, he decided he wanted a piece of the pie. And Cleveland said, no, you already got $100 million from us, and you were going to put $100 million towards building your new football stadium. All this extra money, we're going to build all the sports stadiums back downtown in Cleveland because the Cavaliers were playing out in the suburbs. And so they built them a new basketball arena across. And when the Cleveland City Council told them they weren't going to give him $150 million out of the pie, he threw a shit fit and said, well, screw you, I'm going to Cleveland, or I'm going to take my team out of Cleveland. And he moved them to Baltimore. You know, most times when a sports team leaves the city, it's because the fans aren't there. But the Cleveland fans sold that stadium out year in and year out, and so it's still it's sort of a dirty deal, because Browns fans are the most loyal sports fans in the world. Everybody loves their teams. If you're into sports, if you're not in sports, you don't understand. But Cleveland fans are the most loyal to their teams.
Yeah, but you guys don't play real football anyway. It's a waste of money.
Oh gosh!
I hear some mumbling gibberish from a dwarf out of Khazad-dûm.
Yeah. All right. Reporting live guys, from somewhere in Australia that we can't pronounce the name.
It's pronounced Goulburn, and here we got Richard still here.
Hey, Richard. All right.
Our mate. Yeah, Anthony. Not Anthony. I mean Gary. He had to go and do some house cleaning. He's been a boy on his leisure, and he's got to clean the house before the wife turns up home. So he's deserted us. Here's a quick one for you guys to show you. Just in the background there, where I'm pointing with my fingers, is the main south line that runs between Melbourne and Sydney. So that's gives you an idea whereabouts we are. We're on the main railway line. That's the carriage shed that's still being used. It's still maintained carriages and sheds. And you've got the old sanding tower. And where I'm standing in is, it's easy thing in the model, is the old refueling bay for the diesels. Now the steam facility was on the other side. It gives you an idea where I am. I'll show you. We'll go back up there. I've got probably about another 10-15 minutes worth of battery. The battery didn't charge up too long, so yeah. Okay. Any questions? Then I lost my comments.
Is that a functioning fueling station, or is that also for display?
They do refueling at the other end now, but no, it's not functioning anymore. I don't think. Maybe these guys are this refueling facility still work or not? Sorry? Refueling. Nope. There you guys go. It's not working anymore, but it's connection and diesel. No, but yeah, you can see it's pretty easy to model. Straightforward and simple. We'll go to the other side of the museum. And there's little kiddie rides there. That's ideal for you there, Rick.
Oh, yeah, I'm all over that.
And look, there's your Australian cousins. You see your Australian cousins there?
Save me a ride at the kiddie rides. I'm going to need Anthony to watch the kids while I'm playing.
Yeah, you probably would. I'll go to the older section there. There is a lot to do. It is a museum here. On the way to Canberra, it's open most weekends. I know Thomas, and this engine here, this is my favourite one here. It's an Alco. That's my favourite out of all of them. They haven't fired her up, but I just love the sound of it.
Now, Artie, the Alco's an American engine. Did they build that in Australia? Do you know, or did that was that shipped there?
Well, the engines itself, the motors inside are actually imported from the US. The body designs and that are from the body designs are made to here. They're Australian design. The only thing that's been brought in is the engines themselves. If that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a big set of
You've
trucks
got
there
some
on your right.
Yeah, these ones here, they're from, you see that passenger car there? They're off the 72-foot-6 passenger cars. They ran on white bearings. And we've got still some more in the background there. 7.25 gauge here of the B class and the A class. The
Wow.
difference between them is the engines. See, the battery's draining quick, so I'm just going to show one more thing and I'm going to sign off. So it's up to you two if you want to carry on the show or want to call it quits. Here's my new toy that I'm taking home with me. I still got to work out
The 11th bloke that's threatening to steal it. It's only 1.5 days.
shit.
The last 10 have been unsuccessful.
And
No, 11.
Artie, you're
Yeah,
short enough
man.
to just get inside and drive it.
yeah, Richard doesn't have a tow ball in his car, but I'll work it out. And this car here's a special one. He used to run from Wollongong, not Wollongong, from Sydney down to here. And it's for the good people like the Dodgy Brothers. It's actually a prison van.
Oh,
Yeah, they used to transport prisoners from Sydney down to here in one of these. I think there was 6 of them, 4 or 6 of them made. There's only 2 surviving. It's this one here, and another one at Thilby Museum.
Hey, Artie, are those your initials carved on the inside?
No, not on this one. No, not on this one. My initials are carved on the other one at the other museum. Yeah. Yeah, because they used to transport, because we had prison, big prison outside the area. It gives you a bit of an idea what it is. And,
wow.
well, look on the inside. I do have drawings of when I actually done a prototypical model of this for our competition. Sorry, what's soccer I was saying?
Oh, he said he's only ever seen the inside of one of those.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, my power's just about really gone out again. I don't know. This chewing up power, something not something chronic, and I didn't bring up my backup. So hopefully everybody's enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Save up your pennies. Now, if you two want to take the stream longer, you're more than welcome to. I don't know where I'm going to stream from next week, but yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed the show. And,
Hope it's not inside that prison van.
Well, we could do that. We can do that, but what's his name? Let me just change the camera. So, yeah, just hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. It was something different.
Yeah.
We can thank Creepy for this, for reminding me during the week. Because if it wasn't for him, start over, Artie. Yeah, well, I'm going to have to do something. I have taken a lot of photos. There's some photos of, there's a layout out here from the Goulburn Model Railway Club. They've got a club here. I will do that for the Fun Day Friday and a few other shots. So, again, Anthony, Rick, thank you for helping out.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for the show.
You guys want to carry it on?
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah, if you guys want to carry it on,
Anthony, you want to hang around for a little bit, or do you need to get
I can hang around for a little bit, but yeah, I'll be cutting out fairly soon. But I'll hang out for a bit.
Okay. So I'll leave with your good hands. I am. If you want to hang on, I'm with me and Richard are going for a train ride.
Okay.
That's 2 o'clock. It's roughly about in about an hour and a half, 2 hours time on one of the diesels. We'll get the battery recharged. So if you want to hang around for that, Rick, if you can.
Yeah, sure can.
Yeah, if not, if you guys are there, you're here. If not, then I'll just video record it and put it down somewhere down the line. G'day, Mills. How are you, buddy? Wig-wag.
If you're gonna go live, with the train ride, as soon as I see it pop up, I'll try and pop in.
Righto. Okay, we'll try to do that. Okay. So
Okay.
I might do us another surprise one.
Sounds good. Hi.
Guess what I have found here? Look who said hello to me.
It's me, Mel.
It's Mel's. Okay. With that, you two can close the show. This is a big surprise for me too. Yeah. My show is full of surprises.
Where's my logo?
Here. Oh, it's her
No,
logo.
it's Tony's logo.
Okay.
I'm with my friend.
Okay, there we go. We know who Mills is.
I'm just.
There you go.
All right, yeah, Artie, from now on, just have Mel's on the show and you just be off camera.
Anthony, get stuffed.
Keep it happening.
I'm planning
Oh,
to.
well, this is a first. As you see, my channel is the first for everything. Everybody just pops up. So, okay, guys.
Wait, is
Hey,
Mel's
Ken?
there? Hang on, Mel's? Is Mel still there?
Yep.
Yeah, Mel's?
Yep.
I got to ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you know Lord of the Rings? Do you know Lord of the Rings?
No.
No.
No. Okay, so I was gonna say you're standing with Gimli the dwarf.
I'm sitting on my knees actually.
She's on her knees. Oh, that makes it even worse. Oh,
She's looking at
no.
you eye to eye.
That's why.
Oh, no, she's not proposing anyway. This is going to cut out, so I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you, Artie.
Oh, no.
right,
See
bye.
you. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I saw you over there.
Oh,